Wow. Have you had that kind of a day?
You have no idea. Like, as of 20 minutes ago, I was ready to go to bed. I was like, I'm just going to go sleep. I go sleep right now.
Yeah. I'm at the point where it's like, it was kind of funny. After dinner, I just like sat down in front of the TV. Kathy and John were sitting on the other couch. And it's like all of a sudden, I found myself like waking myself up snoring.
Oh, I love those. Those are the good
it's
stuff.
like I could still hear the TV going on in the background and everything else. I think
Well,
John
know how I snore. So I wake myself up all the time.
You don't snore. You are just an electric buzzsaw waiting to happen. Holy cow. You need to like seriously go see a doctor or something like that. I mean, jeez.
Never go.
And Helen Keller called. She said, shut up.
It's so bad. I love it. You know what I'm always curious about, though? I feel like my body can control it, though. Because I don't snore.
There's no controlling it, man.
Here's the thing is, though, I don't snore like that when I'm in public, though. And yes, I do fall asleep in public quite often.
How often you in public and all of a sudden I'm going to, say to yourself, I'm going to fall asleep now.
I mean, think about it when you're on a plane.
Oh, I do it all the time when I'm snoring. And then, of course, you're doing one of this. You're like, you're sitting in your seat, and then you're doing it. Then you're like,
what? Who was it?
That wasn't me. Lady? What, did we take off yet? Are we there yet? I'll have peanuts.
That's the worst feeling in the world, though, is when you fall asleep and it feels like you slept for the entire flight, and you look down at your watch and
like
you
3 minutes.
Flight for 3 minutes. You're like, oh God, no.
No. Okay, so while we're doing the banter part of our show, this is the funny part. So I used to commute to California every week, and so every once in a while I would take the red eye from San Jose, California to Chicago. We would leave at 11 o'clock. We would arrive in Chicago like 5:30 or something like that. And what was irritating is that, you're like already tired. You get into your seat and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep. And you're finally getting to sleep about a half an hour afterwards. Then all of a sudden, you feel the plane go, whoosh. That's it. Just one, like it hits a bump in the middle of the road.
Good night.
And then it's like, you're just like awake.
Yeah.
For the rest of the 2 hours, of the flight. And the worst part to it is that not only happened once, that happened twice. And I'm thinking to myself, is it the same person flying this plane? Do they know where that air pocket pothole is? Because it was like, yeah.
They wanted to happen.
I know. It's like between that and one time I had a little kid like snuggle up against me. I'm sleeping. I'm like,
you're like, what do you do? Like, you feel bad. You want to say no, but
it's like I don't want to seem like I'm some kind of creeper. So I got to kind of just lean over until he would like lean over and fall over on his mom's side. I'm like, it's like I'm a nice guy. I not a creeper, but it's just like I just don't want you. Stay on your side of the seat, please.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
But, speaking of flights, maybe you're getting ready to book that. Maybe you're getting ready to book that next trip and you just don't know where to go. I actually had someone message me today and said, hey, Danny, I know you're not a travel agent, but maybe you should be one. But since you're not, can you direct me in the right place to go to book my Disney trip? And I said, no problem. You listen here, young man. You go to Fantastic Memories Travel and you ask for the Mouse Master Travel Group. Those Mouse Master Travel Group agents, they focus on the Disney destination vacations. So you can just sit back, relax, drink a Mai Tai, sit on a beach. Well, they take care of all the stressful parts of vacation planning. And you might say, well, where can I find them? Well, you can find them at mousemastertravel.com. But I'll do you one better. While you're there, tell them Behind the Ears podcast sent you. Maybe while you're sipping on that Mai Tai, your trip isn't for another 180 days, but you really want to get some Disney loving in your life. Well, I've got the best company for you for that. You're going to go to mickeymonthly.com, and what this company does is they bring you a surprise box of Disney goodies each month, and they're directly from the parks. They do all the shopping themselves. You can get things, you can curate your box to customize anything you want, from authentic trading pins to some of the best Main Street snacks in Magic Kingdom to any type of Disney park merchandise they sell anywhere. And here's one of the better parts of this situation. Package only $7, but I'm going to up this offer so much better. If you go to mickeymonthly.com, you can save 35% off your first box. That is right, 35% off your first box using our promo code RADIO35. That's RADIO 35. Maybe after booking your trip and ordering a box, you still want a little more love. Well, I've got the solution for all your problems. It's called Streaming the Magic, and you happen to be watching us on Streaming the Magic right now. But you could become a VIP member for a low $5 a month. You might say, Self, what can I get to be a VIP member for $5 a month? Well, you get exclusive streams only for VIP members. That is right. They roll out the red carpet. You get the VIP treatment you deserve. So not only do you get exclusive streams, but you get a special show where it's just Chris and myself from the Behind the Ears podcast, where no one else gets to see it unless you are a VIP member. So have you signed up for it yet? What are you waiting for? Head on over to Streaming the Magic and become a VIP member. Treat yourself, for my Parks and Rec fans. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Streaming the Magic proudly brings to you the gray stuff, also known as Behind the Ears podcast. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Ears podcast. Happy hump day if you're watching us live. I am Uncle Danny. The man on the other side of the glass is Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris, how are you?
So you're not going to do the whole hump day?
I was going to, but
what is it? What is it? What is it? It's hump day.
I missed that commercial. Why don't bring that back?
I don't like commercials. Commercials are evil.
Some of them are good, though.
I will admit, the only commercials that we tend to still watch are Disney-related commercials. I will totally, completely admit it.
Well, hello from everybody in here, from our normal. We got to think of a fun name for you people, but from our normal listeners to some of the new ones or the occasional listener. Thank you for joining us here. We are going to have with.
I know. Okay, we're gonna call them the comment crew.
Oh God, no!
That's a
good idea. I mean, hey, I can't be mad at that because you came up with something and I didn't. So can't knock the person who's being creative. Tonight, since we've been doing so much hurricane talk and talking about the devastation and park closing and this and people not going home, no power. We're going to lighten it up a little bit. We're going to just do, an informal, impromptu conversation piece. But Chris wants to start the conversation piece off. So before we do that, just so you guys know, please join in the fun here in our comment section. And also, come up with your own questions. And we will try to get to as many as we can. So Chris, take it away.
Oh, where do you want me to take it?
I thought you wanted to start with your music.
I know I am. I'm just kidding. I know the jokes don't really get better as the week goes on. It's just, one of those things. I wanted to talk a little. Yeah, I know we did, and I wasn't about to change because I just washed clothes, and this is the first thing that I picked out of my closet. We're going to tell you. So this is actually inspired by true life events, as they say. I have a theory. Not just any old theory. I have a real theory, okay, that if for some reason I feel like I am not able to pay attention to what I'm doing, I put on music. And I have found that music makes a big difference in just how I feel. Just me. But I also found out I have so many different options when it comes to music. I mean, I've got gigs worth of songs. I've got terabytes worth of songs on my server. Access to Amazon Prime. But you know what my favorite stuff is? Obviously, it's going to be like Disney music, right? So I was going back and forth today. I was going back and forth between Magical Mouse Radio, Subsonic Radio, and Sorcerer Radio. All three are fabulous Disney music stations. By the way,
not endorsed or sponsored by them at all. This is just me dropping nice, shameless plug for them. And the really cool part about it is that I can't remember even which one I was listening to, but it was like the old style background music as you walk in through the turnstiles over at Epcot. And it lasts like 20 some minutes. That is one of the coolest soundtracks that I could just listen to that all day long. And I think what I'm going to end up having to do is that I did take some time over the past number of years to actually compile a list of songs that you can hear and purchase legally all throughout the Disney parks that you're not going to be able to find on a Disney soundtrack that Disney offers. So I just wanted to ask you first, Danny, before we ask some of our listeners over in the comment crew.
Just sticking with that one.
Yeah, well, the corn dog nuggets crew. I like Maureen's idea.
That one. Yeah.
Yoursies. Yeah, there you go. Well, I want to know what area music, what background music do you like the most all throughout the the Walt Disney World Resort? This could mean anywhere from the resorts themselves to the parks. Where do you recognize the music the most, or I should say that you pay attention to the music the most?
Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom. It's just iconic. It's got that futuristic lasers and you just know when you're walking. Now I will say this though, a couple of the songs inside of the loop that they play can be, if you don't have a keen ear to it, can be very similar to some of Epcot's.
Okay.
You hear that futuristic laser, and sometimes it's just a couple beats where if you're not paying attention, you'll be like, oh wait, where's this music? What am I listening to on my phone right now? And you're like, oh wait a minute, okay, yeah, now I remember.
One of the coolest parts about that particular background music area is to listen to, kind of a pseudo tech version of "It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow."
Okay.
I just that's one of those things that's instantly recognizable, and you kind of just, you bob your head back and forth because you're just
yeah. No, I mean, I started listening to on Pandora. It's the Disney World. It's Disney's mixtape. And you can't customize it. You can't like it. You can't dislike it. It is just a continuous loop on Pandora. But I mean, you'll go from, soundtracks from say Bambi to things inside the park to turn around. You've got Mary Poppins. I mean, it's literally all over the place. So you never know what you're about to get, but it's really cool. I enjoy it.
Is it like a constant mix, like background music, or is it actually just songs?
It's both.
Oh.
It could be, you'll have, spoonful of sugar, mix the medicine good. And then you just hear the techno music out of Tomorrowland. Yeah, it's wait, new change the channel.
I have to agree. First off, Tomorrowland is one of my favorites. And actually one of the, I kid you not, this happened yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was listening to Tomorrowland music, and if you call one of my office lines, now this goes for anybody who works for my company, if you actually, and it's also not the number that you have for me, I might add, it's a different number. You call that actual company number, it'll say, please hold while we connect your call, and then it'll actually play this futuristic music in the background. It sounds so much like Tomorrowland music. It's I don't mind calling one of my colleagues because it makes me feel like I'm getting off a space mountain.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I mean, it's just funny. It's I don't mind talking to him now because I'm in a Space Mountain kind of mood. It's just music makes such a big difference in how you feel. And I have I shouldn't say I have a feeling. While I can't be 100% sure, I am 99.9% sure that is exactly what the Imagineers are trying to do. They're trying to get you in a particular mood through music, and it's very distinct, for wherever you're going. Tomorrowland is very much one I like the most. Where'd you go?
Hold on, they asked me. Hold on.
Okay, I'll keep talking then.
I got Pandora.
Oh, he's okay. I didn't see the comments, but I think that's actually kind of cool. But also,
okay.
Don't get us in copyright jail.
No. Sorry, that was actually not an appropriate radio station. I just played.
Bradley just mentioned the Tree of Life area music is great too. I have the soundtrack for Animal Kingdom, and I'll be honest with you, if you can get it, it's a fabulous soundtrack. It has a lot of that music that you hear walking around. It's absolutely fabulous. But also, and I'm not trying to jump around too much here, but there is a soundtrack for Rivers of Light that also includes the Tree of Life, which has the nighttime music that goes along with the show on the Tree of Life. It is absolutely phenomenal. But I'll go get in just here in a minute.
The station is called Walt Disney Records Mixtape. If you could see, that's let me
back up a little bit. It's like tilted.
That light's. I'm tilting. That's not gonna come in. Like, all right, Pineapple Princess came on. Love this one. Okay, that's one. I'll just use all my skips for the day. I don't care. Then comes Real Gone from Cars.
Oh, great song. Sheryl Crow, yeah.
Then we have the Star Wars The Force Awakens. Final, this is the film score.
Yeah, I love film scores. Believe it or not, I can't drive to film scores, but I'll listen to film scores in the background all day long.
Cheetah Sisters by the Cheetah Girls. Zuka Zamba by Bunga Children's The Lion Guard. What do we got next? We have Someone's Waiting for You from The Rescuers Down Under.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Holy cow.
Our Town, once again going back.
Oh, I love that song. That's like my wife's one of her favorite songs.
All right, sorry, I'm out of skips.
If
someone wants to pay for my, to upgrade it, let me know.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow, Thursday. I think I'm going to start a conversation over at the Disney Community Facebook page, and just so we can have a deeper conversation and put people's notes of where do they listen to, what are some of their favorite music, and maybe even make some additional comments here, so that if you can't necessarily come back and find the comments here under the live show, you can always go back and take a look at that. So I actually think you get addicted to the music, and I'll walk around and there is one song, and I can't remember the name of the song, but but I think I know who the artist is, and it's the funniest name in the world. Okay. It's Jai Hotel and the Pagan Love Orchestra.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it before. And the thing of it is that, to me, his song is more like a one-hit wonder, even though you can go on iTunes, find him out there. And he's got a ton of albums, and none of them are like the one album that has some of the songs that Disney uses throughout different parts of the park. This is really, really cool. Also, what do you think? Okay, seriously, be honest with me here. What do you think of the pre-show music to Illuminations?
I don't like it.
No?
I'm not a fan of the actual whole score of Illuminations.
So even the stuff before and even the stuff after? So you're just not a fan, period?
I love the show because I think it's very bright. It's colorful. I love the firework combination. Yeah. I just don't like the music that goes along with it. Now let me, and I'll do it, and I'll show you devil's advocate. I love the we'll call it the score again, the score of Rivers of Light, but I'm not a huge fan of the show.
Okay, yeah, I can see that because Rivers of Light. I mean, I've said this before on the show. I've had to watch it a couple times in order to really get the understanding of the narrative, the dialogue, what I was seeing, and how it interacted with the narrative, the dialogue, the music, and so on and so forth. But I love the soundtrack itself. So it's just one of those things where I could understand that. You can like the music, but not necessarily like the show. And I suppose, you don't have to, buy buttons to pay for Danny's skips. By the way, we only have 2 sets of buttons left. Get them while we got them for the first set, and then we're going to order more. So we'll just
these are the only ones on sale, though.
Yeah, these are the only ones on sale. They're going to go up in price just a little bit. So, but
Jeez, hold on.
What?
They want everybody's going to write the station down.
Oh goodness gracious. This is actually funny, and this also just goes to show how unscripted we really are, which is perfectly fine. And for those of you who are listening to our podcast version of this, what can I say? It's just really funny watching Danny get up, going to have to,
Walt Disney's Records mixtape. I'm going to put it in here. And the reason you might ask, Walt Disney Records mixtape. I'll put Pandora Station. The reason you might ask, why do I have to keep getting up for my phone? 2 reasons. 1, it's almost dead.
I was going to say, you need to charge it.
2, I since we started the show, I've always made it a rule where my phone's always on silent. But I had noticed as time went on, like I would still fidget with it. And I don't, we try to be as professional as we possibly can. So if I put it out of arm's reach, I'm not normally going to go up and get it. So now you know why. So if anybody ever tries to call me during the show, it don't work.
I could understand that. So kind of going off that, I mean, you have the background music, you have the background music of the parks, you have the actual scores for the shows. I think I have pretty much all the scores of the recent shows. They don't have a score available for Happily Ever After, although they do have the song Happily Ever After available, and I believe it's available out on iTunes. So
it's for that Illuminations comment.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Don't shoot Danny for that. I mean, let him have his reasonings behind it. Not everybody understands it, and that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to like or love everything that that's there. I'll admit I miss Wishes, and I thought Wishes was I think Wishes was a super show, whereas super show, whereas Happily Ever After is also super show. I don't necessarily what's the best way of putting it? I really super like it, but I really still miss Wishes. So, one of those things.
What platform are you listening to your stuff on?
That's a good question. Thanks, Nikki, for asking that question. I tend to listen to most of my stuff directly through people's web pages. So like magicalmouseradio.com, you can go right to there, and I think it links to a radionomy station, which is radionomy.com. There's srsounds.com, which is Sorcerer Radio, and I actually have that. I click the one button that goes to my Winamp player, so it's an MP3 player outside of the actual web browser that just plays in the corner. In fact, I still got it up on my other machine right now. Subsonicradio.com, it also plays it right there. Now, I've done some searching. Like if you go to radionomy.com, the search function is not all that great. But if you just type in Disney as a search function, you'll find different Disney radio stations. Not all of them are great. There's actually, I have to remember which one it was. There was one that used to play, it was called Disney Village. And it was actually music that they would play in the background in what they call the Disney Village, which is Disneyland, or Disneyland Paris's version of Disney Springs. And it would play more pop kind of music. Some of it was in French, some of it was in English, which was kind of funny. But I used to listen to that a lot. And I'm trying to think of some of the others. There's like a whole bunch of other stations that I listen to. And you know what? I don't have an absolute favorite radio station, because just like I have 30 presets on my radio, the fact of the matter is that I listen to all of them. It just depends what my mood is, and every radio station has a little bit different flavor. Sometimes I don't want to listen to Sometimes I don't want to listen to like old style Polynesian music. Because sometimes you'll hear things like, and I'm like, oh man, I don't think I can really use that right now. Don't make me do that again either. And you do stuff like that, and just flip to another station. It's not about liking one more than another. They're all great in their own right, and they all play great music. And a lot of it does not overlap either. So you really, really owe yourself a favor to just listen to different Disney radio stations, do some searching. But some of the ones I just mentioned is one that I have been listening to for a long, long time. I will tell you this. Did you ever listen to like Live 365?
Yeah.
They had tons and tons and tons of online radio stations, and ever since Live 365 kind of went off the air due to things, man, there are tons of Disney radio stations that went down the tubes after that. I mean, what I mean, but it went down the tubes. I mean, off the air, just because of stuff like that.
That's why we have a wonderful thing called YouTube.
Well, YouTube does have a lot of stuff. The thing is, I don't want to necessarily use up a crapload of data just to listen to a song because it's also playing video at the same time.
Why you gotta get unlimited? If you don't find, then someone like me who's on the road all day, I need the unlimited plan. I mean, literally, last month I used 45.6 gigs.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
You remember my phone's running on the internet 13 hours a day every day, and then when I come home, I don't go on Wi-Fi. Why eat up my bandwidth when I'm trying to work on the computer? Let that thing eat up its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can get it.
Tracy would like to know. She had asked a question. What song would you walk up the aisle to? And I was waiting for her response. She walked up to the Mickey Mouse March in a church organ. That's awesome.
Oh, Tracy, props to you, my friend. That is awesome. See, if I was in a funny mood, and my wife had a really good sense of humor, on our wedding day, I would have played like "Kiss the Girl" from The Little Mermaid. That would be funny. But let's see. I could say "You'll Be in My Heart" by Phil Collins from Tarzan. That would be actually a really sappy.
That is very sappy.
But that would be actually one song that would come to my mind. That you know what? Yeah, Christine, about whether or not Sirius XM would actually play that. I'll be honest with you. I started listening to Sirius XM probably close to 15 years ago. It was I've been one of their first subs for quite some time. And, it was really kind of cool because we actually listened to Disney, Radio Disney, because it was really good at that time. And either I've gotten older or it's just not as pertinent, but now it's a bunch of music that I just don't know if it's just, I'm not the demographic anymore. But, I really wish that they would actually do something like that. That would be like so cool. So that's my whole take on it. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. There's a couple people out there.
Oh, I guess I don't want that. Huh? No, please keep going.
What?
I just mumble things under my breath at you. Okay. There's
probably saying like, Mr. Chris is just talking too much.
I was like, no, because you answered and you're like, and now on to other things. I was like, I guess I'm not answering that one.
Okay, never mind. I'll stop.
I please, I want you to continue. It's definitely more important than what I have to say.
Okay. I know there is a guy by the name of DJ Elliott, and goes by DJ Elliott, and he used to do a lot of the dance parties or at Disney Springs, as well as some of the like Star Wars dance parties and stuff like that they used to have at Hollywood Studios. He just actually he just actually posted a lot of his stuff online, and it's just awesome stuff, man. I mean, really good mixed music that he incorporates Disney touches to lots of other different types of music. It's pretty epic. So, not to mention, I also like, Kretzky's. And I'm going to have to remember his name for later. So I'm going to stop right there before I start saying to myself one more thing and then forgetting like the names or something like that. But I'm a big music nut. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
You wanted to say something.
Oh, let's see. I mean, you got a couple good ones you could really go with. You've got Pineapple Princess. You can go with what's it? Kiss the Girl. Is that from Little Mermaid?
Yeah, I mentioned that. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I saw that one mentioned.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight from Lion King? That was my next one.
But you gotta get someone to sing that one. You can't just have that one. You gotta have someone just belt it out like live, and they really gotta do it justice, because I think that one recorded. I mean, Elton John obviously does it really, really well, but you gotta get someone. Can you feel the love tonight? No, sorry, you can't do it. But I'm just
I think if I have one song though, probably A Whole New World.
That's funny. I like that. Did you know? No. I sang to my wife on her wedding.
Oh God, is that on tape?
Yeah.
Up for a nice YouTube video.
Oh no!
What did you sing there? Was it a good song? It was
a good song. It was a good song, and she kept on distracting me while I was singing it. Anyway,
that's cute, though.
So not only am I a great podcaster, but I'm also available to sing at your wedding, your dance, bar mitzvah, you name it. Quinceanera, I'll sing it. I won't necessarily be great. I also sang at someone else's wedding too. So
did you really? Look at you!
I don't just sing in the shower.
This little Rod Stewart over here.
No, not Rod Stewart. No, and I'm not Neil Diamond. It's like anyway. But wait, go back one more. You mentioned something or one. Can't think of the name. What about the song from Beauty and the Beast, the part where they are dancing in the ballroom? That is actually the theme, Beauty and the Beast, which is mainly sung by Angela Lansbury. That's a really awesome song too.
I've seen a lot of people use that for their first dance.
Yeah, but it's like, how does that make the guy feel? Yeah, thanks a lot. You referred to me as the Beast?
Spider on my wall.
Really? You're being distracted by a spider on your wall?
It's crawling where I can't see it anymore.
At least he's not saying, there's a snake in my boots.
Snake in my boot.
But yeah, let's see. Use the ELP before
a live singer and keys play.
Yeah.
Casey Chris is standing in the crowd of people and the spotlight just hits him. He got like a jacket on. He's got like a full white suit on. Grabs the mic, sparkly gloves and all.
Okay. Seriously, it would have to be more like the movie The Wedding Singer. Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. Great movie, excellent 80s music. Seriously, but anyway,
you have to sing at Jessica's wedding now. You hired.
Well, Jessica. We'll have to talk about that. Hit me up on the side. I'm real inexpensive. I mean, I've been to Wisconsin weddings before. They're awesome. So,
man, this has turned into an entire music show.
Well, that's okay, because it's like you speak about that. When we were introduced at the wedding reception, I had the DJ play the Mission Impossible theme. Sing with the pianist at the Grand Floridian. That would actually be kind of cool. Oh, dude! Don't
rethink anything.
Yeah, seriously.
Do your thing.
Don't. You know what? You know who would be a cool person to have sing at their wedding? Yeehaw Bob.
Oh, that would be fun.
To have Yeehaw Bob sing.
That's like wedding material.
Doesn't matter. It would just be hilarious.
That's fair, yeah.
I did it just because it's a wedding doesn't mean it has to be. Well, I guess it has to be serious. Oh, it kind of depends.
I'd ask for Michael Bublé if I had the money. I love Michael Bublé.
Really?
Oh, I love his cover stuff.
Okay.
He's a spot on Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra cover. Love it.
Okay.
Bob is better at the reception. Oh yeah, Bob is definitely Bob is definitely the life of the party. I can see Bob, throwing out like inflatable guitars and things while he's singing. He's having a grand old time.
That would okay. I don't think that would be going for a more traditional wedding, but maybe a beach wedding with a theme.
Bob would steal the show, though. That could be a problem for the bride.
True. Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean, because the bride is the bride's day. It's one of the things. Oh, wait.
I know.
She's gonna have her wedding in Milwaukee, overlooking the skyline. Oh, I think I know where you're gonna have your wedding. Because
read that one.
I work at events on a wedding where the ring boy ran in with a suitcase to Mission Impossible. Oh, that's pretty awesome. That is really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland proudly presents our spectacular pageant of nighttime magic and imagination in thousands of sparkling lights and crap, I almost did it.
I can never say that.
Electro-syntho-magnetic musical sounds, the Jessica and Magical Wedding Parade. Yeah.
Why do I need a Jersey wedding? I don't know about that.
What's a Jersey wedding?
I don't know. I've been to a few. I mean, I just assume they're all the same. A lot of singing the Journey.
Well,
I found out, but I heard that's not a normal thing though.
What?
Don't stop, believe it. You go nuts when that comes on up in Jersey. You had to have some of the Boss, Bruce Springsteen.
Well, you have to have some between the Boss and Bon Jovi. You have to have those. Isn't like a state law in Jersey that every wedding has to have Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi?
Some of them make appearances. No,
yeah. Is that John Bon Jovi's like, hey, I think I hear a wait. Yeah. Do I smell lemon rice chicken soup and some bad chicken cutlets and cheap watered down booze? I'm so there.
Oh man,
that'd be funny. Awesome. Okay, so actually, squirrel. Actually, I think it's really cool because it's like you go to the Grand Floridian and they have especially around Christmas time, they'll have an orchestra / band playing, in one of the balcony type areas, playing different types of Christmas music and stuff like that. It is extraordinarily luxurious to walk through the Grand. And if you're there this winter, I beg of you, go and just sit in the lobby of the Grand Floridian so you can actually listen to the music and just sit back and enjoy. And I guarantee you it'll be very much worthwhile. It is so cool. It just makes you just feel like you're in the lap of luxury. Yes, lap of luxury while you're wearing shorts and a Mickey t-shirt. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking. So
fair. I like it. There's a lot of really good options out there for Disney music. Whether but I think at the end of the day, we all agree that SiriusXM needs to get on this. And they really need to do a Parks radio station, just a giant loop. Because if you go on the internet right now, I think I could find probably about 13 hours straight of all the different park loops. I'm sure Disney could throw out some other stuff in there where they could have an entire loop run it all 24 hours.
I think so too. I mean, I also kind of believe that Disney should have an actual live stream of at least the picture of the castle or the tree or Spaceship Earth or something like that. Just something like that with some music in the background. I just think that would be so cool. And you know, I don't know, maybe even sub to it. I don't know. I guess with these days with music and royalties and stuff like that, I bet you any money it's really a challenge to try to deal with, the music royalties, especially if it's not something that like Disney. People think that Disney writes all their music, and the fact of the matter is a lot of their music is actually, mainstream music that you may not have heard before. That's the thing. I have a whole list of music that, like, walking through Epcot, you'll hear things from like Yanni and
a little bit of everything.
Gosh, again, I'm going to have to just list out. I have a whole playlist. My playlist on my iPod, which is connected to my clock radio. When I wake up, I will wake up to different pieces of Epcot music that I bought off iTunes.
Wow.
So there you go. What else? I mean, I wanted to talk about that just mainly because I mainly wanted to talk about it because I've been listening to so much music, and I really do think I work better when I listen to Disney music in the background. It keeps me focused. I am the kind of person I can actually do work while I'm listening to Disney music and not like focus like Although every once in a while when the theme from Soarin' comes on, I kind of sometimes pause. It's kind of like, oh, wait a second, wait, oranges. You kind of have to think about that, and we'll have to figure out how it goes. So I don't know. I'm really glad. And by the way, everybody, thanks for favorite Disney song that makes me happy. I'll go ahead and say it's Soarin', but also I will also say it's a tie between the newest Test Track song, background music, or like Danny said, anything that's from Tomorrowland.
Yeah, Tomorrowland, yeah. Spoonful of Sugar, and You Got a Friend in Me.
Spoonful of Sugar?
Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine. I love Mary Poppins, though.
Okay, I mean,
I'm a Mary Poppins fan.
By the way, did you see Saving Mr. Banks then?
I did.
So what'd you think?
I don't think it's
Tom Hanks nailed.
Oh yeah. If you're talking strictly acting or how it was made, great. If you do your back history, they let her off the hook a little bit. She was, from what I've read, and she's not a very nice person. Now, granted, Disney did, Walt did promise her that he wouldn't change certain things. There wouldn't be animations in there, and we all know there was penguins, and they didn't really have real penguins, so there was animation. But it was an absolutely fantastic movie, though. Fantastic movie.
Yeah, I liked it. It was. I remember going to see that movie in the theaters with my wife as a date night type of thing.
So Chris,
yes,
where did you get those behind the ears buttons? Where can someone get them?
Well, where can you get them? Go over to the Behind the Ears podcast Facebook page. Look over into the left-hand side of the page. At the bottom, it says shop. And in there, you will find a place where you can find our buttons for sale. Now, don't be afraid that there's only two orders left in stock. You get 2 wonderful buttons with each order. And when they are gone, we're ordering more. And so don't worry about it. The price will be slightly different, but we're not going to charge phenomenal amount. This is to help us with the show being totally transparent. It's going to pay our bills. But go over to the Behind the Ears podcast Facebook page, look to the left, look on down to where it says shop, and you'll see the buttons right there. It's the only thing on our shop right now. Soon we're going to have a few other special limited edition polo shirts available. I'm just finalizing prices with our vendor. They are nice wick-away material, embroidered shirts. We're not talking about a printed or ironed on shirt, actual like thread embroidered shirts. They're gonna, but they will be a limited edition. I will probably have that up by the end of this week, and I have about 10 people that are already saying that they want one of those. And every time you buy something from our store, you are, in essence, trying to help us make a better show. There are expenses that go along with podcasting that I don't think people realize, and this just helps that. Helps us come close to breaking even, to be very honest with you. But we want you guys to look good and to represent the show. I saw someone make mention, Danny, about a button that, kind of, says, something to the extent of, I'm part of the Behind the Ears Nugget crew or something like that.
We'll work something up for that.
We'll have to figure it. Can you wear the buttons at Disney? Of course you can. Absolutely you can.
And we want you to buy them. Obviously we want you to buy them. But, there will be moments in the show where we do give some away. So don't fray. But we want you to buy them, obviously. If you were looking to buy the things, maybe you were looking for an inspired t-shirt from the Great Movie Ride, that is up in a different shop. Now this is why I wanted to bring this up. People are getting this a little confused, and it's just the way the internet works. We have to do it this way. We have the shop on Behind the Ears. That's where you're going to get buttons and the polo shirt and some fun homemade stuff that we're going to be selling on there. If you're looking for any type of t-shirts, whether it's the charity shirt or when we start doing our t-shirt of the month, that is going to be in a separate store. We will always post the link. If you go to the Behind the Ears page, it's pinned to the top. If you go to the Uncle Danny Facebook page, it's pinned to the top. If you go to the Disney community page, it's pinned at the top. If you go into Streaming the Magic, it's not pinned at the top, but it's in there. We'll have plenty of places. And if you're ever looking for something, whether you don't know where it is or if we don't sell it, just please message us and we can direct you in the right spot or talk to you about possibly trying to sell something like that. So that other shirt is up there. I want to pose a question before we go through the rest of the comments. How would people feel about if we sold ears? Not men's ears, not like the embroidered ones, like the girl headband, ear, flower, bow in the middle. Just out of curiosity. I would like to see what the women think. I mean, obviously it's not for men. I mean, it could be.
Why not?
It could be if you want to wear one. But let's get back to the real topic. Did you know that if you go to Hojo Anaheim, you can see the
Howard Johnson's,
and you get to see the fireworks every night?
I did not know that. Hojo Anaheim. That's the Howard Johnson's over at Anaheim. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's the closest non-Disney hotel right next to the parks. Cool. At Disneyland, that is.
Love the music played during Happily Ever.
It was a good soundtrack. Really good soundtrack.
So, Belinda, were you able to order them and you just couldn't save your credit card on file? Whatever happened with that? Because we've had several orders, so we want to work with you. And I know we've had John on here, and he wants us to put up signed pictures of our faces, which not really. How do you price that out? 3 pennies. I don't know. Just 47 cents. Cover the stamp. I don't know.
We're gonna put it on, but we're gonna fold it up and put it into a regular.
All right, 2 stamps.
Oh my god!
And then people want calendars, so we've been thinking about doing calendars. We have a lot of really cool ideas, but the problem is, Chris is a family. Chris is working full time. I have a full time job. I'm getting ready. I'm trying to get a move down to Florida. So we're trying to expand, but there's only so many hands going around, So it's tough. As you wait in the queue for Soaring, you can hear Apollo 13 music. Dave Steele, Magnolia.
Yes, it is awesome to hear the Apollo 13 music, and there's also other music that's there too.
Yeah, say Miss Banks.
Danny, we have a good problem on our hands. You know what that is?
We sold out.
We are sold out on the buttons. And I'll tell you what, everybody, in the spirit of full disclosure, tomorrow I should be getting my packing material for them, and I will have them in the mail to you either Friday or Saturday. and then you should be able to get them relatively quickly. So I just thought I would let you know that, and I will let people know. I think you'll actually get a message from Facebook when they are when they're actually, I have it set for shipping. So thank you so much to everybody for doing that. As I said, that really does help us out. I'll get those out to you as soon as I get my packing material, and it would be pretty epic and awesome. So Danny, we're going to have to come up with our next batch of buttons, and we'll see what we can do about getting that taken care of. But thanks everybody for doing that.
Yeah, it's absolutely okay. So let me see. Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. Okay,
Ears?
so Nikki says yes.
Okay.
My wife is screaming yes. Okay, yes. I'd be all over that. Love all ears and colors. Yes. Would they have the BTEP logo on them? The funny thing is I have an idea in my mind, and it started. The first ears would be like a take the pin you see on Chris's thing right there. It would have to be the smaller one, almost like the old school bottle caps, because you can't have that pin. Like, it would just weigh your head down. But we have some ideas. I just need to gauge, because it's something where I'm going to have to work with somebody with this, and we're going to have to do it together. And there's a lot of planning and materials that go in. Here's the problem: is it's not costly, but I don't want to get stuck with a box full of ears that I can't sell. So there's logistics behind it. But I'm really glad to see a lot of people want ears. Okay, I mean, your wish is my command.
We'll figure it out.
We saw that it was sold out. Listen, we just have to. I couldn't save my card either, so I couldn't order the buttons. That's so weird. It's 2 people who said that. But no, Melinda was trying before it was sold out. All right, well, here's the thing: they're sold out. We're not going to relist them until I get my shipment in, because we don't want you guys waiting. Or we might. I don't know. Just we'll let you know when they're up there, all right? Get off my back.
Jeez, dude. There are many decaffeinated brands just as tasty as the real thing.
You all should have a character drawing done of you two and autograph them. Yeah, but those are expensive.
Like a character crap.
Those are not cheap. I mean, you're talking about, what do they go for, $30? Like, if you want like a detailed one, like I have. Oh man,
you're going to bring it down, and you're going to show.
If you want a detail, it's so big. So light. Hold on, I have to move the mic. So obviously you see Danny. Oh, it's so bright. There we go. And that's my dad. I had gotten this when he passed away. So they had the castle. We're on Buzz Lightyear. I mean, this thing was not cheap, though.
That's a gorgeous picture.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you could start getting into some very pricey things, and then it's kind of like, it's not even,
Corn dog, Jen is saying, corn dog nugget ears would sell out so fast.
Oh my
but you know what?
God, yeah.
You know what would be cool, though? Do a corn dog nugget ears that are also scratch and sniff. Now wait. Now you may think that is a very crazy idea, right? We happen to find a pair of ears. In fact, you probably saw them at the Indie Disney meet. My son John was wearing them. It actually is a pair of ears that actually looks like an upside down Mickey premium ice cream bar that's melting. And on it was a sticker that said "Scratch and Sniff." If you scratched and sniffed it, it smelled like a Mickey's premium ice cream bar.
Yeah,
but it was so long ago. Obviously, it's dead. But
yeah, listen, the polo shirt is going to be a little pricey, so we do understand. We want to hit every demographic. We want to hit every people. We want to hit every genre market where certain people like polos. Some people, we know a lot of people like, hey, we want polos. And people are like, hey, we just want T-shirts, The idea of putting a logo on the top, like left breast or right breast spot, if you want to just do a copy of that on a T-shirt, that's very doable to do.
We're gonna have logo. We're gonna have. Yeah, I love that stuff. I love logo wear. We're gonna have some different things going on, and now that we found a vendor that kicks butt, that is willing to work with us, we're really happy with them so far. We hope that you are too. We're going to be doing this on a regular basis, and anything you do is basically, as I said, it's going to go to help support the show. Danny and I are not taking a dime personally out of it. We're just going to use it to pay for bills on the show and to put it back into it so that you guys can enjoy it. The more that you wear the stuff and you get people asking about it, the more that people get to hear about it, especially when you wear it at the parks. And that is a real big thing. So just kind of keep that in mind. So, but I think that's kind of enough talk of what we're going to be selling. We'll just keep everybody apprised when things go in the store.
I hope to be moving. I set a goal for myself. I don't want to say the goal out loud. Some people know the goal. Just because if I don't get it, I don't like being that person that doesn't meet my goal. So it is within the next year, I will tell you that. And there is no reason to be getting sad that for my niece. My niece will be heading down with us. We're doing this as a whole cattle. We're going down in pieces. But
dude, this is gonna be like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, yeah,
swimming pools, movie stars.
Oh man, yeah, everybody made it through the hurricane. Luckily, me and Chris were not in that general area, but our loved ones down there were able to make it. No, yes and no. It's tough to do something like that. For other reasons, but definitely email us what you wanted to tell us about our show later on before Party Favors. More people wanting ears. Yes, that's probably what we'd have to do. Dan, are you bringing buttons down to Disney in October? Sure. Not a lot. I mean, you got to understand, if I bring them down, it's got to be a select few because I have to give them away. I can't sell them to you while I'm there. That's something you all need to understand. I cannot bring things to Disney to sell. That is a big, no. It's a big no. And it's not even like, well, just, I can't even pull out of Alex's trunk of her car and sell it to you like at a football game.
Buddy, you want to buy some buttons?
I got bumper stickers. Come here. I can't do any of that. You want a t-shirt? Come here. No, I can't sell you anything while I'm down there. So anything for sale would have to be over there.
Even though Danny, you're not going to be in an unmarked white van or something like that. I got your Disney shirts right here.
Oh, Joffrey coffee ears. Oh man. There's so much cool stuff you can do. Corn dog, yeah, they really would sell. Drawn by Disney artists, signed by all three. Yeah, but who's paying that? Our vendor, he sent us a list of things we could purchase, and one of them was an Afghan blanket with our logo on it, which I'm still considering I want to get. This thing is dope. It's got the phrase on the end and everything, but it's $130. And I was like, who's paying that for a blanket? But at the same time, I never thought anybody would want my face on a piece of picture and signed.
There was one vendor that we've used in the past that they would actually put our logo on undergarments.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It was.
That'd be awesome.
It's where you got this shirt for me.
I gotta go get them. So many comments. I'm just gonna move past it before our entire audience.
Keep moving forward, as Walt would say.
Bandanas, backpacks, string bags. I'm glad you all have so many ideas. I mean, I hope.
Here's the thing: our vendor can actually do some of those things, and if we can find out a way to actually do some of those things, we'll put it out there. And, it doesn't cost us anything to actually work with this particular vendor because they print them somewhat on demand. So, we'll figure it out. I'm glad you guys are talking to us about it. I mean, I think that's going to be pretty awesome. And thank you guys for being so open with us about it. I think that's what makes our show wonderful is our listeners are just awesome.
I really hope what Christy says here is the God honest truth. Because me and Chris have said it. I've said it to Chris numerous times off the air. I've said it to Alex. I've said it to family. To see a listener come out and say that with me and Christy have never talked. I don't know from Adam to Eve. that's cool. That, you know, and if, you know, for people at home that are listening that can't see it, Chrissy says, you'll make the move and BTE is going to blow up there. And that, I mean, obviously I'm moving for other reasons, but that is a big goal of mine. You know, we want to take, you know, we started out as two guys sitting in separate parts of the country talking about Disney to 10 people, to two guys sitting in separate parts of the country talking to thousands of people, to two of us now traveling to events to talk Disney for, you know, 20 people in a room live when no one knew. You know, we want to get to the point of, you know, where we're packing rooms and we're packing, you know, comment sections. Who, you know, for the people who've been around here since the beginning, you remember, we would have maybe 100 comments. It'd be because there were 6 of you going back and forth with each other. If we broke 20 people in a show, me and Chris were air high-fiving each other. Most of this show, we were almost at 100 people all day. I mean, I guarantee you we'll have probably close to 1,000 comments just tonight. You know, we've grown and we want to keep growing, and we want to, but at the same time, as you've noticed, we've grown, we've done better, but we understand who we are. We ain't changing who we are at the end of the day. You're going to get the same content. It just might be bigger and better because I'm down there and I can do more of the exclusive stuff, but we're not going to change who we are, though.
Yeah, and there's a plan that I'm going to be coming down there to Florida eventually, but it's probably not going to be for 10 years. It's going to probably be not until my son is out of college. And I know that, I understand that, and I'll be at a point where, you know, that's what I'll want to do. So, you know, we'll figure it out. But until then, you know, actually the funny part is, Danny, my wife and I were talking as soon as my son goes off to college, we'll be able to go down to Florida more often. So, yeah.
Or less. I mean, you got to pay for all it.
Well, you know, that's what student loans are for, right?
That's very true. I'm still paying them. Oh, man. All right. Man.
I love this place.
So, with that being said, Chris, do you have any final goodbyes? Because I really want to get into some of these, but I really can't because you guys, some of you people are commenting on things that are already in the works. So, I can't get it.
Yeah.
Some of you also have some really good ideas.
Yeah, if you have any other ideas and you want to drop them off to us, seriously, the best way, even though we do review the comments tomorrow, what everybody put in here, you know, if you really want to get our attention, also send us an email, behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. A simple email with any ideas, questions, comments, feedback for the show. You know, even if you want to criticize, you know, constructively for us or, you know, whatever, please let us know. We love to interact with our listeners. Whether or not it's here live, through listening to the podcast, whatever. behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, I like that. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Facebook is Behind the Ears Podcast. Instagram is Behind the Ears Podcast. And Twitter is Behind the Ears PC. I know they're pains in the butts. Like Chris said, I'll reiterate it. Any questions, comments, concerns, please send them to our email just at behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. While you're at it, hop on that fancy computer of yours and go on Facebook and join the Disney Community Facebook page. That's where you can find all the t-shirts you've heard us talk about and also some of our fantastic comments and questions and polls and just great overall community. And it doesn't always have to be about Disney. We are just a family-friendly area. We also have 2 fantastic admins, Trish and Alex, who do a wonderful job policing, but also contributing. I want to add that part in. YouTube, subscribe, thumbs up. I will tell you this. YouTube has changed their formats. They are now going to more family-friendly. Do you know what that means? What we do is going to be big time in there. So be prepared for hopefully knocking on every piece of wood around me. We could finally get our YouTube channel up and working. And lastly, do us a favor. Please go on iTunes and rate and review the show. I hate asking for you to people to do that, but just go on iTunes, rate and review the show. Make my life happy. With that being said, I'm Uncle Danny. I'm signing out.
I'm Mr. Chris. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Thanks for your love and support. We really appreciate you guys. And it's not just words. We really, really, really do appreciate everything. You know, just your contributions and listening to the show. Until next time we meet again, we hope that you have a wonderful time. But also, one more thing. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show, because that way you can get the show right when the shows come out and you don't have to worry about it. But until we meet again, we hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care.